one, action. Peace and blessings, everyone. It's your girl Mocaso, and we are here for another awesome Raw workshop where we have those that are in Web3, really building, really doing it, come and teach us a little bit about how they're doing it so that we can use it to continue to build the space together. And we are honored to be here with the High creators who are doing amazing things in the metaverse with their Haikun NFT project. If you guys haven't seen, we have game night and a lot of other workshops that have happened and are yet to come. So this week we will actually be talking about how to create custom avatar movements and then import them into spatial. So I'm gonna let them take it away because they're gonna show us an easy way to get it done and then try to experiment and see if we can find out some new ways to get some really cool custom movements and kind of watch their workflow. So make sure all you need to do is download Blender, which is a free software, which isn't necessary for the first part of the segment, and then also Blender or Unity. So Unity and Blender, that's all you need, and they're both free and will help you do lots of things. So the High creators, I will let you take it away. And again, thank you for being here and everyone that's watching.
Thank you for the warmest welcome that we have. One of the warmest welcomes that we have received in the metaverse. Um, so yeah, like Mocaso said, this is going to be a workshop to get everybody going with custom movements inside of spatial. I'm gonna be showing the first part, which you're not gonna need Blender. You're just gonna need Unity and Mixamo or something, or an auto rigger that maybe has some animations library that you can download the animation from. And for the later part, which is the kind of experimental part, I'm going to be making a custom animation all the way from Blender and exporting it to work with Unity and then to Space. So without further ado, I'm going to start. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're going you're going to go to your Unity folder, and in that Unity folder, you're going to get a starter template from Spatial that you can download from their website. And for this particular purpose, we're gonna name it custom animation. So that there, you're going to open your Unity Hub, and in your Unity Hub, you're going to import that new. Hub. You're gonna look for custom animations. You're gonna add it. So the latest version that the Unity editor is permitted in Spatial is the 2021.3.21 F1. You're gonna want to get that one for anything that's going to be built inside of Spatial because that's the one that's optimized for all the visual scripting nodes that they're currently making available. You could also use the first edition that they made available, which was the point 0.8 F1, but strongly recommend you use this one. So we're gonna open the scene. I did want to mention, I told you that you don't need Blender, but you do need uh, a model that is ready to be a custom avatar inside of Spatial. You could do that with the previous videos that we have done with the raw DAO, and after you follow that, you can then apply that the thing that we're doing today. If not, Mixamo specifically has characters available for you to use inside of Spatial as well. I don't know actually. I don't know if they meet the specifications, but they should be okay. So for this specific video, we're going to use a haiku that I personally prepared, and I know that it's gonna work inside of Spatial. Platform, By the way, if anybody at any point has any questions or a specific um, or any specific thing that they would like me to go over in the video, you could just pop it in the chat and I'll be keeping an eye out, or Mocaso can flag me. But yeah, the first time that you're going to be opening a Unity scene, it's probably gonna be a little while because it's compiling everything. But after the first time, it's gonna open fairly quick. In the meantime, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna go over to Mixamo. So in your browser, type mixamo.com. I'm already logged in, but I'm gonna log out. It's pretty easy. All you gotta do is basically uh, connect your Google account, or wait. So you gotta sign up if you haven't, or you could just log in using your different accounts that you might have connected. Or in my case, I'm gonna continue Google. Just like that, you should have access to their library. So I did mention that I wanted to experiment doing a little like zombie character, and since I'm gonna be using Haikun as a 3D model, it's gonna be that kind of a zombie Haikun, which we actually have a space built a long time ago featuring that. So it's kind of funny. We're gonna be updating it maybe soon. So once you're here in Mixamo, you can go ahead and look for your specific animation that you might want. For example, we want zombie, and here you're gonna have listed all of the zombie-like animations that you have available. We're gonna hold on that for a while. We're gonna go over to our open scene, and like I mentioned on the first workshop, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you have the latest version of the SDK. So you're going to check for updates, and here's an update available. We're going to hit yes. Just going to let it do its thing. I think we're good to go. Like I said on the previous video, I always like to build on top of something and give a little bit more context. And since Spatial has all of these examples already available, we're gonna go ahead and open the Spatial item scene, and in the scene folder, we're gonna select the icon that's the environment, and we're gonna double click it, and that should load the Spatial island scene. After that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prepare my scene for the custom animation. So the first thing that we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna do an emote that every avatar that you are currently wearing is gonna be able to do. So that's like the wave, or like the clap, or like the churning butter dance emote. Like every avatar that you have can do. We're gonna do that first, and to do that, it's fairly simple. We're going to go back to Mixamo. We're gonna do, I don't know, let's do a zombie scream emote. So that way you can like scream at everybody, they get scared and you run away. And with, once you have it selected, you can maybe tweak a little bit the animation, but that's to your liking. We're gonna hit download. You're gonna make sure that in the format you select FBX for Unity. And this is for Unity specifically, since we're not gonna be filtering the model through Blender. We're gonna specify from the get-go that it's for Unity. So that's gonna allow us to import it directly into our scene. You're gonna leave the skin with the skin option, and the rest is gonna be default. Then you're gonna hit download. You're gonna see that it already downloaded down here, and in your scene, we're going we're going to go over to art, models, and inside of the models, we're going to create a new folder. We're going to rename this zombie green. Just, oh my god, just a minute. And inside of that folder, we are going to look for the downloaded animation, which is this one right here, zombie screen. We're going to drag it into our editor inside of our folder. You can see that it actually shows up with the model preview and everything. We're going to hit this little arrow and it's going to lay out all of the components inside of the model. Give me a second. Oh, sorry about that. So once you click on the arrow, you're going to be able to see all of the components inside of the FBX that you downloaded from Mixamo. Everything from the mesh to the actual prefab. But what interests us in this specific case is the animation, which is this little triangle over here. So, but before that, we got to make sure that Unity recognizes the skeleton that the model has as human, because spatial only deals with humanoid rigs. So we're going to click on our downloaded model. In the inspector, we are going to click on the rig tab, which is going to give us the rig settings. And in the animation type, we are going to click on humanoid. You're going to hit apply, and no errors should be present at this moment. Once you do that, then we can go ahead and actually you can confirm that everything is okay if you see the little avatar icon here and if you see a check mark over here. So once you have this, you can go ahead and click on the animation icon, and to extract it from the FBX, you're going to hit Control D, and there you can see that it actually kind of duplicated it or extracted it from the model. Now you can leave this right here, but we're not going to be using it for the time being. But you can leave it if for some reason or some error you accidentally uh, delete the animation. You can just go ahead and export it again. But once you have this, the only thing that is left to do is to prepare your avatar. Ah, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Is to prepare the the game object that is going to be the holder of the animation for you to play the emote. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to game object. We're going to create a empty. This empty, I always like to make sure that everything is at the origin, so you can just go ahead and type 000 right here. We're going to rename this into zombie green. Then we're going to add a component to that empty that we just renamed, and we're going to type spatial, and you're going to look for avatar animation. You're going to click it, and there you can see that it actually prompts you for a target clip, and the target clip is the thing that we extracted from the model right here. You're just going to drag this over to this field. Yeah, drop it right there. Then should be able to drag the whole game object into your folder, and it'll create a prefab with the zombie stream uh, object that has the avatar animation tied to it. And we need a prefab because to upload the custom animation to Spatial, we need a prefab to input into their field. We're going to hit the little gear symbol at the top right here. That's gonna come the spatial window. We're gonna set it to the side over here. So right now, what you want to do is make sure that you are creating a new avatar animation. You're going to click on create, and there you can see that you have a new avatar package, an active package to specify the animation field. What we're going to do is go on the screen again. So this name is actually the name that's going to be prompted in the spatial UI where you select all of your reactions. Be sure to give it something that you can like know the difference between a custom animation and the other. Once we do that, we hit enter. We can see the prefab field here, and there we're gonna drag the zombie screen prefab and drop it and drop it. Mhm. So the next thing that we want to do is actually test this before we actually publish it. So the only thing that we're missing is actually a thumbnail, but we can test it before assigning one. Let's just go ahead and test this. I do want to do like a quick footnote. At this point, you do gotta make sure that you are logged in with your Creator Toolkit account. To do that, it's real easy. So what you're gonna do is go over to your spatial profile. Once you're logged in, you should be able to, in your profile, go to your studio, and in your account, you're gonna copy the clipboard using this little button right here. And whatever is copied to your clipboard, you're going to paste in this second step right here. So after you've done that, you should be able to go ahead and test the active package, which you're going to make sure that is the avatar animation zombie script. We're going to test active package, make sure that the last browser that you are actively in is the one that has the login info for your spatial account. Because if not, it'll probably prompt you an error. So we we're now waiting for it to out and upload. Oh, and I'm looking at the chat to see if there's any questions. Chat, yeah. Like you're gonna see Haikun looking all zombie like real soon. Like I said, the first time that you're testing something or opening a new scene, it'll take a little bit, but after the first time, it'll be fairly quick. And another thing that you can actually do to optimize this a little bit more is to, if you're actually only building inside of the spatial island example folder, you can go ahead and delete all the other example. So, and it should maybe like it shouldn't compile those anymore. But yeah, that's something I do for our special codes. For this, it shouldn't be any problems. So you can see that everything finished um, uploading. We're just waiting for it to load. So right now, this is the current avatar that I have assigned to the account. And as you can see, since we're uploading an emote, you can see the play custom emote button right here. And if you hit it, you should be able to see your avatar do in this case, the zombie spin. That's pretty cool. I like it. So once you know that this is all working as it should, go ahead and close this, go back to your editor, and now back in the configuration tab inside of the spatial portal window, we can go ahead and input the missing field for our package, which is the thumbnail. So since we're not using Blender, normally in Blender we would just export an image on the resolution that we need it, but you can just simply go ahead and go to the Mixamo page again and use your snipping tool. Do like a little square so you can see the, the image. You can save it and actually save this document on the screen. You do want to go to paint to make sure that the dimensions are the ones that we need, which are 1024 by 1024. So we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick. We're gonna open this. We're gonna hit resize pixels, and here we can pick 1024 and 1024. Okay, so make sure that this checkbox isn't checked because it won't allow you to put the same, like put it squared. So it'll always maintain the ratio. So after you hit OK, go ahead and save the changes. And now we should be able to go into our Unity set scene again, drag the thumbnail over with no errors. This should just go in and we are good to go. Double check the name, and if everything checks out, go ahead and publish, continue, and that's that. You have successfully uploaded a custom emote for any um, avatar that you might have on at any given time in space. This set, it actually only works if you're in a computer because in mobile devices you can actually see the custom emotes on your UI. You could maybe have like a prefab object or like in the inside of the build itself have the ability to maybe override a button, but that's up to the creator and everything. But if you're on your computer, you have full access to everything that you do custom for your profile. But yeah, after we've done this, we gotta actually wait for it to publish. But while we wait for that to publish, we're going to go ahead and go a little bit more berserk to quote a friend of mine. So if the now we're going to get a haiku, the haiku that I mentioned at the beginning, and we're going to zomify that haiku. But before that, Lord, nice, nice chat. Like we're gonna be doing workshop with Rod monthly, so and so any questions that you have, we could definitely like hop into one, tune into one, and ask away. That's awesome. So okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do, we're going to create a whole new folder, and this is going to be named Zombie Hyphen. And ooh, sorry, just got out of a little cold. Actually, it wasn't a little cold; it was COVID, and plus the dab, plus a little dry throat. Yeah, but a little bit of water always helps. So let's go ahead, go into our zombie hyphen folder. In our zombie hyphen folder, I'm actually going to get an asset from another one of our scenes. So as I told you at the beginning, I already prepared this avatar for it to be compliant with at least the world parameters for spatial. But the only thing that I'm going to be using is the model itself, not any of the components that make it a custom avatar. So you will be seeing how to how to specify and to create a custom avatar, or at least assign all the needed components for this. I'm just gonna go ahead and wait for that to open. Come on. There we go. This is where you put in the edit moments later. Okay, so once we have this, the model that I want is let's see. So actually, these are all custom avatars, objects, animation. Animation's not much, but mostly avatars. This one, I want this one. That. So let's actually use this to learn a little bit too. So if you actually have something that you want to use in one scene and use it in another, the best thing to do is to actually make a prefab of it and just take the prefab completely to the other scene. So to do a prefab, you just gotta drag the folder or the parent or the game object that you want from your hierarchy over to your project window, and that's where it becomes with the blue hue on the left. I want this one, but I feel that I'm gonna get an error with the materials, so we'll see. And actually, no, I can just get the prefab. So you actually need to do a prefab, but it's you gotta take the whole folder, which contains the model, which is reference of the prefab. So let's go ahead, and I lost it. It was full spec, full platform. Wait, there we go. So it's HC full spec. So these are the struggles of life and having so many files. Wait, it was HC. Yeah, HC full spec. Haha. So we're gonna drag the whole folder over to the new editor. See, I knew I was gonna get the error with the materials, but I should be able to, since I have the model, extract them again. So if I just extract the textures, boom, and then extract the materials, and you're gonna have to import it. Yeah, boom, there we go. So you might get this. a little notification right here. This is just because we're re-importing the normal maps, and this is just to fix it. Just click fix now, and you're good to go. So going back to what we just did, I wanted to get one of my models that I know for a fact that I have another Unity scene over to a new one. So I just, by the way, I just got the notification that the zombie scream custom emote that we just did has published. So we're gonna be able to see it later once we test this out. That's cool. Um, so yeah, once if you want to do that, the only thing that you have to make sure is that you have all of the main components of the object. So in this case, I wanted to export and import this model of Haikun. I needed to get all of the objects inside of that folder over. So I just literally drag and drop it. But we did see that some, or in this case, all of the materials were missing because they're actually on another folder uh, inside of this other scene. But since you made sure that you have the main object, you can just go ahead and since everything is inside contained of this model, you can just go ahead and extract the textures and materials, and it should all fall into place. And since we said that we only need the model, this is more than enough. So you don't need the prefab, so you can just go ahead and delete it. You have all of the other textures. So what we're gonna be doing right now is to tidy this up. I'm going to create a folder for my materials because or at least for not for the materials, but for the material textures. So there are quite a few. So texture, texture. This is it. Oh, drag and drop them over here. I'm not gonna hide the materials just yet because I do feel that I'm gonna have to adjust for the metalness and the roughness. So that we're just gonna go ahead and get our model all the way over here. Hey, it's AMG. We're actually not gonna need him for this, so we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna unpack the prefab completely. I'm hearing a clap. Does anybody have a question? Who clap? Ah, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here again. So I forgot that this model actually had an AMG, but we don't need him. So we're just gonna go ahead and delete him. And like I said, if you want, anytime that you import something from your project window into your scene, it's gonna go as a prefab. It's gonna treat it as a prefab. So if you wanna change anything, be that add something to like parent something to your object or get something out or delete it, you're gonna have to unpack the prefab, or else it's gonna apply it to the main one that you because it's related to it if it's still a prefab. So once you do that, you do that by unpacking it completely like I did, like this prefab, and it should be grayed out, and then you can modify it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and see like I told you, the materials are all stock, so it doesn't actually have the fur texture or anything. I don't like that, so we're gonna fix that real quick. I'm gonna go over this fairly quick because I go over this in detail on the first workshop that we did with Rob out. So if you guys want to check that one out, it's actually in their YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken. It was pretty dope. I don't see my fur texture, and that's because I actually remember that I had it. Ah, where am I texture? So this is actually I have it's a pretty I would say basic because it's not for hardcore gaming, but it does have an AMG. Wait. I have it. I have it. It's that you know what? I'm just gonna pop out the specs. Not bad. I don't remember this by heart. Aha. So it has a Ryzen 5 processor. It's a six core. It has 32 RAM, 32 gigabytes of RAM. I do know that it has an AMG. Wait, I have a Radeon RX 6600 graphics card. But yeah, that's about it. It doesn't have anything other than that, and it runs Unity pretty well. So yeah, I haven't had any trouble launching with spatial or actually launching in Unity's custom uh, in-house Unity Play. So yeah. But yeah, if there are any other questions, we're gonna hop back in. So I was saying that I don't like seeing Haiku so plain, and I'm just gonna go ahead and mix the materials real quick. This goes here, this goes here, and these are the links. Remember that any type of emission that you do on your objects or your scene or your avatars, be sure to set them to base. Mm, the jump lava. No, it's not how I wanted to show. It's good enough. Okay, so once you have your materials all set up, wait, next one, start it back. Okay, once you have that all set up, you have your avatar model ready to go. You're gonna want to go and click your high level object, which is the parent object to your whole model. We're gonna add a component, and it's going to be a spatial avatar component. Leave that on set, and this is what I was talking about with Mo. Spatial now lets you override the default animations for you to be running, jogging, jumping, or like how you fall, how you sit. So you could actually have a completely custom avatar that moves as you want it inside of space. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to do an idle, a walk, a jog, run, overrides because for the others it's fairly the same. So it's actually the same. Just do the same thing we do for these for the others. So yeah, after you have your avatar set up, go ahead now. Actually, I'm going to group all of the material inside of a folder because I don't have any. I won't be doing anything else with it. So selection and drag it to a folder. Okay. By the way, do know that uh we do have the avatar component set up, but we haven't made this a prefab yet. Be sure to always have everything that you need in your avatar, parented, uh, added, or however it is, before you turn it into a prefab. And if you do need to change something, get that prefab from your project window into your hierarchy and unpack it. Once you do that, you still have the old one, and you can then modify the the one that you unpacked to to get the updated version. But yeah, but I'm seeing some activity in the chat. I tell you, you're very kind of stuff. I actually got into Unity as Spatial released its toolkit, and it does have a learning curve, but Spatial with all of the custom scripting that they're doing, it does help a lot because you don't have to code. You just gotta know how everything behaves with everything, I guess. And I know that doesn't sound less complicated, but it does help lower the curve a little bit. But yeah. Once you have this set up, we're gonna go ahead and go over to Mixamo now. And in Mixamo, we are going to look for our wait, that's not it. We're going to look for our idle, our walk, our jog, and our run animation. So we're gonna start with the idle one. And so once you put zombie, since we're gonna zombify Haikun, you can see all the zombie animations related to it. So we can see here that this one's an idle, but this one's a little bit jittery. I like this one better. Headset for this. What is this? Okay, okay. I'm just not. I think it's gonna be that. So remember, like we did for the custom emote at the in the first part, we're gonna download this. Keep the skin because I have noticed that if you only download the skeleton, at least in Blender, it does download differently, or at least it behaves differently. At least that's been my experience. So be sure to download the whole package, and like we saw on the first part, we can just extract the animation that we need. So remember, format FBX for Unity with the skin, with everything as is. We're gonna download that, and we're gonna leave it for a while. Then we'll move it for the other one. So the other one was walking, I think. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's like a zombie walk. Oh, yep, there is. I thought it was just straight up running. So we're gonna get this one. We're gonna hunt for a little. So by the way, this is actually pretty cool with Mixamo. It has a lot of different animations that you can choose from, and you can actually customize them and like to your liking and to your needs. Now Haikun's got little legs. This makes more sense. So we're gonna download it. Make sure that it's for Unity with skin. Download. So we got the idle, we got the walk, and we need the run. And zombie run would be this is one. This one seems a little bit more threatening. Oh, yeah, oh shit. Yeah. Okay. So I like that one for the running. Make sure all the settings are as they should be. By the way, the settings should not change unless you change them or you log out. Or I don't know if you actually close the window and go back in, but I do unless you go out of the window, the settings won't change. But still, make make certain that everything is like as it should. So we actually have all of our animations, but I do want to check for it. Mm, okay. Okay. So a zombie is not gonna sit down. A zombie is gonna lie down. So should be able to. That could be kind of more. Hmm, I'm just gonna look for down. I don't know. For a second, I thought about doing the zombie eating on the floor animation as the sit animation, but I think that would be a little bit too too morbid, I guess. We'll check it out for later. Uh, I don't know. You know what? We're just gonna go ahead and do those four. So once you have all of the animations that you want to overwrite, go ahead and fetch them from your downloads folder or wherever you um, downloaded them to. So it's the zombie running, the walking, the idle. Was there one more? I don't know. Was those three? The zombies, and I thought it was four. Uh, the jog and the run. We got to. Come on, come on, let me. I mean, a jog could be a slower run, right? Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and import the new one, which is actually was running too, but should be the latest one. So it's this one. Okay. So once you have all the animations that you want, go ahead and go one by one. Click on them on the project window. Go over to rig, hit humanoid, and apply. The same for the other one. Once you do that, you can make sure like we are sure that the animations are considered humanoid as well. So we're going to go one by one again. Hit on the little arrow right here. We're gonna export or extract the animation. So we're gonna do that by selecting the animation, which is the little triangle, and we're gonna hit Control and D, and that should extract it. to your folder. We go ahead and close the little arrow, and we're going to do the same for the other one. Could be a little bit confusing because like I just did this. Like I just opened up the first one and like for a second I didn't know where the other ones went. So take your time with this. Could be a little frustrating, like at first. And this is the last. So since I already have the animations out of their respective models, I only need to actually, in my case, make sure which is the slower running one and the fast one. Do that. So this is the slower one. So this is zombie. That is zombie. At this point, you can go ahead and rename the animations as you need so that it doesn't confuse you. Let's go ahead and create a new folder. And here we're gonna go ahead and maybe call this master animations. We're gonna, or original animations, we're just gonna uh, put the the main models away. If anything should happen with the ones that we extracted, be it that we accidentally deleted or something, we can go ahead and go into the master folder and extract them again. So once you have your animations, you have to go one by one and make sure that loop time is checked. What this does is that it makes sure that once you keep pressing going forward, the animation keeps looping and it doesn't just do it once and it just stops and shows the avatar like standing and moving. So one by one, enable the loop time. After you've done that, go over to the avatar that you have prepared and we can go ahead and start dropping the that we want to override. So for the idle, we want the zombie idle, or the walk we want. Wait, let me just make sure that this is the one. For the walk, for the walking one, for the jog. Okay. So after you've done this, you are basically ready to turn your game object into a prefab. Let me just go ahead and this is going to be hyphen. We're going to drag our game object over to our folder, and there you're going to see that it created an instance of the hole that I have here, and it actually turned it blue. So that's how we know that it successfully turned it into a prefab. And you can actually see if I have it selected, it'll say not prefab. So we can now go to the spatial portal um, window. We can go ahead and create an avatar. I hit create. This is going to be zombie tycoon. We're gonna drag our avatar over here. In this case, it can't be universal because it doesn't meet the requirements, so it's a world avatar. We're gonna set this to animal, and we still don't want to publish it. We gotta test it first, so we can leave this blank for now. After you have all the other fields filled out, you can go ahead and test the active package. we should be able to also see the zombie screen emote that we did in the first part. So it's gonna be pretty cool because we're gonna have a zombie like moving tycoon that's gonna be also doing a zombie screen. Okay. Just wait for it to upload. By the way, a friendly reminder, it is 4:10 EST. So anybody that shares the EST time zone, get ready. Here we can see a little zombified tycoon, all jittery, being idle and all. And if we move, you can wait a minute, I don't want this. And if we move, you can see that it moves slowly after you. But if we run, it'll get ya. So if you wanted to go a little bit more berserk, you could get a custom animation for when it jumps, when it double jumps and all that, and it'll be a full zombie going through the metaverse. But once we know that all of this is working, wait, it didn't I didn't test the screen animation, but it should load up fairly quick now. Okay, there we go. So we know that everything works. The other ones, but we do want to see the new one. So to look for the custom emotes that you publish, you can go ahead and the computer go to your reactions, and under all reactions, you're going to be able to see all of the dance moves that you have unlocked and all of the dance moves that you have dance moves and custom movements that you have published. So here we have the zombie scream, and you can see the little hydrant is a little bit pissed. Ah, but always with his blunt, never without it. Like override your movement. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So you can do it multiple ways. If you do it, if you want to go the route of changing somebody into an avatar like we do with Haikun, you could actually have this avatar with all of the overrides already done, and the person would just drive the avatar how it is. Another way that you could do it is inside of the build itself. You could do a collider that and put a trigger that if anybody is inside of it, maybe the movements are overridden by a visual scripting. Or you could just go ahead and maybe do a UI that pops up whenever you enter the dance floor, and it has a little dance button, and that dance button can then be visual scripted to play the custom dance mode. It could be done a couple different ways. Hope that answers your question. Okay. Awesome. So wait, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna finish publishing this. And I think, like Danny told me that we've been at it for like an hour and 20, hour and 30 or almost. Una hora. Ah, ah, we've only been at it for an hour, so we can go ahead and do the experiment. Ha ha ha. If that's okay, by the way. We good? Ooh. So what you're saying, what you're saying to me is a quick, a little break. Okay. Yes, that will be the that, that would be dopeness. I didn't know that you had set up that with Danny and everything, so that's dope. Okay. So before you wrap this live up, let me just go ahead and finish publishing the avatar with the custom animations, all of that. So it's like the full video until the end. Sound good? Okay, so this is the thumbnail for the avatar. Remember, so avatars actually have to be 1024, 1024 as well. If I'm not mistaken, so don't be cool thumbnail. Then open it. Okay, that is it. Check that. Pay no mind to how this looks. This is only for you. Like the only person that's gonna see this thumbnail is you. So as long as you can identify what it is inside of your profile, you're good. Save that. Drag it over here. Okay, so it has to be there. In that case, can I actually save this? If not, okay, so this actually has to be transparent. So either you run it through a converter, or if you already have the thumbnail somewhere else, that either way helps you identify it. For this, for this, I'm gonna get this, which I know for a fact that works. So it is the right resolution, 1024 by 1024, but it absolutely needs a transparent background. And Paint or any snipping tool, I don't think they'll give you that. So keep that in mind. Um, this should work now. Alpha is transparency. Now we can see it's transparent. Danny is hitting 420. Ooh, Danny just told me he's gonna prepare my 420 as I'm finishing it. That right there, that's gold. You see? You see? Uh, that's a hell of a partner. Uh, that actually brings not PTSD, but also like memories from the venting for Haiku. We were like what, like 24, 30 something hours straight, like straight typing in the computer and barely eating, not sleeping. And every time we dab, we needed to dab. Like it was like there's not a second to waste. So if I was like on the computer typing or something in the code, he was preparing the dab. I would take the dab and then he would continue designing or something. So I was like, yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, so once this finishes loading, it'll publish the package, and that would be that. You have successfully overwritten your avatar emotes. I will now be taking a step back from the keyboard to take my full training. So please give me a sec.
Hola. Hola. Hi. Not speak English. Okay. Bye. Hi.
It is good to that.